attached to the notice were pictures, color pictures. Unfortunately, the copies we had are black and white, so it is difficult to make out who is who in those pictures. But Chief Mapieya testified that the original was forwarded to IPID and that those pictures are in color, and that in those color photographs, members of EMPD are easily recognizable. What I want to engage you on is not about how you treat summons. It's about how you treated this issue vis-a-vis the Chief of Police. It is concerning to me that you didn't even bother to have a conversation with him.
Thank you, ma'am. Did you ask the same question because he is the executive CEO of the department? Did you ask him that question? What did he do about this?
Yes, I asked.
Because it has nothing to do with the accounting officer. He has a function and powers from the SAPS Act that he must discipline, he must do 1, 2, 3. He's given those powers. And we discussed those powers at length this morning, that he is empowered to do 1, 2, 3 in terms of the SAPS Act, to discipline members, to do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I think it's a bit unfair that these questions are now posed to me while he failed to do his duties as an accounting officer of the department or as an executive director in terms of the SAPS Act.
Okay, it was, and you recall I read from his statement where he said, according to this document, it's got a date stamp of the 8th of August, 2023, which is the date on which the EMPD received it. Your office received it later, actually, on the 15th. And on the 15th, he came to your office to discuss this document and show you, according to him, the problems being experienced and illegal acts performed by members of EMPD. And rather than engage with the contents of this document, you took issue with him that he appears biased towards Mkhwanazi, where in circumstances where Mkhwanazi is not on any of the pictures. That is his evidence before this commission. So yes, we did engage him on that.
I did not engage him on that. I indicated that I had a meeting with the chief on the 16th, not even on the 15th. And the issues that I raised, it was about the dysfunctionality of the department, not even this. So I will request, ma'am, that the responsibility of dealing with issues lies with Chief of Police. He was supposed to be asked questions, what did you do with the document? Because in terms of the act, he's the one who's supposed to take action against the misconduct of his officers.
I agree with you. And yes, that's a conversation we've been having since morning regarding his powers. What we are discussing is slightly different, which is the concern by the Chief of Police and the concern by the city manager about the contents of that document. And you appear not to have any concerns regarding the contents of that document. So much so that you confirm you didn't initiate a conversation with Chief Mapieya about what's stated in there, and you suggest that neither did Chief Mapieya.
I reiterate that Chief Mapieya was supposed to take action on this particular document. My issue is for summons and ensure that the city is not litigated. But I take your point that he failed to do his duty, not mine. It is not my responsibility to discipline junior officials.
And it is not your responsibility, then I take it, is it a proper interpretation as to what members of EMPD do? It's not your responsibility, and neither is it your concern. Do I understand you correctly?
My concern, like I indicated, the reporting lines, the Chief of Police reports to me. The subordinates, whether it's managers, executive managers, in terms of the legislation, they report to him.
Yes.
And he ought to have taken steps against this misconduct.
So then I must accept that if this team of people, or even more, all registered with EMPD, went around the province killing people at will, it's not a matter that will perturb you. And any failings by the Chief of Police to take action against those people is a matter to be left at the Chief of Police's doorstep. And you should never be engaged on such matters as a city.
I should be engaged. Remember,
at what level and when?
Remember, Chief of Police is like in terms of the questions from this morning, it's like I'm personal with him. There are a lot of labor issues in that department. too much.
This is crime issues, doctor. It's not labor issues.
No, let me finish,
Okay.
ma'am. Can I be allowed to,
By all
to
means.
talk
By all means, I
and be
apologize.
free? There are a lot of labor issues, there are a lot of misconduct issues, and there are a lot of criminality issues in that department.
Yes.
And as I indicated that we appoint HODs on the basis of their strength, especially around qualification and experience. And we believe at that point when we appointed Chief of Police that he will turn around the department and show compliance and deal with all the criminality that is that is happening in the department. We thought he would do that. But it cannot therefore be my sole responsibility to enforce that. Chief ought to have enforced that all members are actually vetted, and all members who actually are found to be wanting in terms of criminality are actually dealt with, including iPad.
Can I,
Yes, Commissioner.
can I just maybe test this? Chief Mapia reports to you in the same way as Mr. Sheka reports to you. You receive this notice of intention to institute legal proceedings. There's an amount involved, but more importantly, there's allegations of criminal conduct from members of the EMPD. Surely it's not good enough for you. It cannot be good enough, and please say if you disagree and why. It cannot be good enough that you say, well, Chief Mapia is the one that was supposed to institute disciplinary proceedings. I took this demand and I sent it to legal, and that's the end of my role. He's your direct report on a serious matter of criminal conduct, such as serious and huge financial exposure potentially to the city. I would expect my city manager to ask Kasheka, are you aware of this? I want a report. If Kasheka is the right person, and from what you're saying, it sounds she's not even the right person, but somehow she gets involved in Kwana's matters. But I would expect at the very least that the city manager who receives this notice says to Mapia, I want a report. I want to know what you're doing about these criminal people that are in our system that have gone and robbed someone outside jurisdiction. And I'm concerned that your attitude is, well, he's the boss. If he didn't do it, don't look at me. Surely that he reports to you means something. Do you want to comment?
Yes.
Yes.
Can I comment by saying that in the morning we discussed his powers that he reports directly to council in terms of the SAPS Act and his responsibility to discipline members. And there's no way where it says the accounting officer must discipline members, including the systems of delegation. It is actually delegated to him. So I do not follow the discussion during his testimony as to whether such question was asked to him. What did he do with this? Despite claiming that he had a meeting with me to show me the pictures and whatever. That for me is still an allegation, and he must confirm it. The onus is on him to confirm that he did have a meeting and he indicated this. This report, it's an official report. It is with legal to defend the city. The issue of discipline still lies with the chief of police.
What does it mean? Maybe let's go back to basics. What does it mean when you say he exercises his powers inter alia, subject to your directives? Well, what does that mean?
Remember, we discussed that fact that the council has appointed him as the head of policing.
Yes.
And I argue that in as much as he's appointed, we need to read the SAPS Act in conjunction with the Systems Act as well as the systems of delegation. So if he fails in his duties, obviously, as an accounting officer, I need to deal with it.
Yes.
I need to deal with it.
Yes, and you're
But
saying,
in this-
sorry, carry on, sorry.
Yeah, okay. In this particular matter,
Yes.
he did not discuss this thing with me. He never had a meeting with me on the 15th of, I forgot him,
August.
of
August.
August.
Yes.
I only had a meeting with Chief of Police on the 16th, where we discussed the dysfunctionality of the department. That such things, some of these things are some of the things that came up from the members, that we have this and this and this, we do not have tools of trade, we do not have this. That's why I had to call that meeting and address some of the things.
Okay, I'm really dealing with this limited issue. You receive a letter or a notice to institute legal proceedings. It claims about 45 million from the city. It alleges criminal conduct on the part of your employees. They are employees of the city. They're not Mapia's city. You're the CEO, you've told us. So they are your employees. They are accused of criminal conduct. Your testimony, as I understand it, is, well, I did my part. I forwarded this to legal, and that's the end of my involvement. What happens discipline-wise with these employees, it's not my issue, it's a MAPIA matter. I struggle with that when you say he's accountable to you, and you don't seem to hold him accountable for this. And then you come here, you say, well, he didn't do anything about it. The question is, well, why did you not hold him accountable for this? And it seems your answer is, well, it had nothing to do with me. I am concerned about that.
Well, maybe it's an oversight from my side that I did not pursue him to actually, I mean, I have so many HODs, I can't be sitting on one person. And for me, I accept that it's an oversight for not making him to account.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. As a matter of interest, we dealt with one issue earlier, which is the statutory requirement for vetting for EMPD members. And you subsequently learned that Brigadier Mkwanazi refused to subject himself to vetting and equally refused that members of his unit be subjected to that.